Oh dear. Right, today I want to start looking at this blower. I took this out of the car probably, it might even be 2 years ago, it's hard to remember. And it sat in this sort of, it was actually a cat litter tray, so some that stores cat wee. On the floor for a long time. There's all sorts of things. That's part of the air pump, whatever, must be, probably. There's the motor that is, I thought it was seized at the time, so it seems to turn. That is something probably to do with that. A bit more of the casing, all good. And there's probably a number of these little clips, you know, these things. 1, 2, 3, a few wheel nuts, and I bet I'll keep that because that might be part of it. That's probably it, so we can get rid of this now. Welcome back into episode 126. So, last week's video, you saw me fixing that no start. The car's running again. I'm still dubious that I fixed it. There's something dodgy going on. Occasionally I get the thing where I turn it and nothing happens till I press the brake pedal. What I'm going to do, and why the car's turned around, is I'm going to have the ignition switch out, probably this coming week. I think that's faulty. I'm going to have it out and see if that fixes it. Anyway, enough. This week what I want to do is get on with the blower. The interior fan blower thing, whatever you want to call it. I took it out probably 2 years ago and it's sat in a box tucked under one of the benches. It's time to get that back in there and just resolve that side of things. My dash and everything's complete mess because I'm waiting to take it all out. Before I take it all out, I want to check that the HVAC and all that works. So blower, time to fix you. As I say every week, please click the like, click the subscribe, click the comment button, leave me some comments. I love those comments. Let's get back in there and you can see how I do it. Right then. So I don't know if all of the bits are still here, if they still work. It looks like I need 4 of these clips. I've got 3. That's probably not a major problem. Just looking around it to see if that goes with it. I mean, it is super sticky, not very nice at all. I'm going to grab a battery and we'll just try the motor. Let's see if that actually works. That's the easy test first. Right, battery. Positive's there. I'm literally just going to lay it across it and we'll see what it does. Not a great deal. Yeah, it looks like it's shot. So why don't we take it apart and see what's in there. It might be something we can work with. Right, I found the, unfortunately it's glass, but a glass jar that the motor fits in perfectly, like that. And I'm going to use that just to tap out the spindle. I've got 2 nice bricks, that should be enough. I just don't want to hit it and crack the hamster wheel. Let's try that. I'm not sure it's moving. That's the weird thing. I would have expected it to fly out of there by now. I don't think there's anything clever. Right, I've been hammering the crap out of this fan to the point I thought I'm just going to hit it as hard as I can. And it's finally started to come off. So I'll angle you down, you can have a look. Here we go. Right, join me in the success story. I've been hitting that. I mean, even got my big hammer out, smashing it like crazy. And I can see it's now dropped about 3 mil. Here we go. Success. Wow, that was in there. Crazy. Yeah, it's not even, I can't even see if it's splined. It doesn't feel like it, but the motor's completely shot. I mean, you can look at the state of that. That's seen better days, isn't it? It hardly turns now because I've hit it so hard. I'm going to take it apart though because I can, and see what's inside it to see what sort of state. But it's probably got a part number I did read that you can replace these with Bosch ones, which just kind of makes sense. Yeah, there's part numbers on it. So we'll look at getting that. I'll get it apart. If there's anything interesting there, I'll video it. If there isn't, I'll just get a new one online and we will fit it back on. That can be tidied up. No brakes, luckily. God knows how that survived. And then all the case and everything can go back together. And there's that mucky job of clearing up the fan housing. I don't know, well I do know it's oil, but I don't know how it became so caked in oil. It's horrendous. But let's give it a little bit of a clean up and see how good it comes up. It should be, oil is a preservative, right? It sort of coats and stops everything going wrong. Right, if you've learned anything about me across these 100 and whatever videos, you know that I don't like spending money. Blower motor is causing me some headaches. It doesn't work, I proved that earlier on. I managed to separate it from the hamster wheel. This took some serious bashing. And it seems to sort of turn even worse now. So it's like, I don't know, maybe I damaged something in the process. But trying to find a replacement one of these is a pain in the arse. I can't. So I'm actually going to try and take it apart and fit new brushes if I can get it apart. If I can find the brushes and all of those things. It shouldn't be as hard as it looks like it is because I can't even see how it opens. But I'm going to go at it with a hammer and we'll see what happens. Right, so it looks like if I want to get to the brushes are down the bottom end, aren't they? They can't be up the top because the wire's down the bottom. And it looks like, I don't know whether that's even going to refocus, but you can see there's this piece of metal and then it's sort of splayed out either side. So I figure if I tap that back in, I think that's all that's holding it together. There she comes, and that should have the brushes on. Now, interesting. Brushes have got some life on them, so not a lot. You can see that in there. There is still, you know, there, probably a centimetre of brush still in there. Oh, it's actually maybe a little bit easier, despite there not being any places that I could actually get the chiseling, but it's kind of come off. I've not got this far yet, so. We're learning together. One magnet and this thing. Right, I cannot see how to get that bearing out. It seems sealed and I really don't want to go messing with it. So what I've done, I've sprayed it out with brake cleaner. I've fed loads of grease in there and that's pretty smooth now. And it's the same on the other end. If you look at it, it's sort of pressed in. There's nothing, there's no sort of little clips I can get off or anything like that. So I'm not going to mess with that, but that spins quite neatly again now. So I think what I'm going to do is try and reassemble it and check that it still all works. I didn't notice, look, if it runs. Not the quietest motor in the world, or the freest, but it does run. Right, with a bit of lubrication, I think that's running pretty good. A little bit noisy perhaps. Aren't they all? I don't know actually whether they are, but that's not running bad to me. I might try and just keep lubricating it. Just try to get those bearings as free as possible. But I'm quite happy with that. I think it's going pretty good. Why are you not bashing on the comment button telling me that motor's dead? Let's be honest, that is garbage. While it does spin, I'm not going to be able to get that working. Let's just be realistic. So, something different. Right, so there is my motor that is kind of dubious. What I've been doing is looking through eBay, trying to find a manufacturer that makes a motor similar. And I think I may have found one. I've tried, this is the second one to arrive, so I tried a VW Golf. That was no joy, it was just too small. And this is from a VW Passat. I've seen it mentioned a few times on eBay. So I thought worth a try. It's 30 quid. Worth having a look and see whether it's the same size. Now, initially what I'm going to do is just sort of eyeball it, because I don't think I can get that casing apart in one piece, and if it's wrong, put it back together and then return it. But if we look at it before I sort of start hacking it apart, we can work out whether it's roughly the right size. If it is, then I don't mind hacking it apart. Certainly the spindle looks about the same. Right, it's the moment of truth. Let's see if it actually fits in this hole. Get the wires out of the way. God, it's going to be very close, isn't it? I think it will though. When I've adjusted it with the Dremel, I think that'll fit straight in. I can probably put it in backwards. Yeah, so that's going to fit in the hole. So that's good. I don't know whether these mounting holes will line up, but they will by the time I've had my my metal drill on them. Yeah, that way. I was round the right way first, wasn't I? Stupid. Okay, so all I need to make sure then is that the mounting holes line up, which I can see them actually. I don't know if you can see them, but they do actually line up already. We are good to go. Now we are getting somewhere. This is looking good. I'll get the hamster cage and we'll see if that fits on, which I put down somewhere over the back there. Right, let's see if this fits. I mean, I'm not going to force it on, but it's the same size, so yes it will. Pop quiz, what is my favourite tool? Welder? Could be the welder actually, but the one I'm thinking of is this. The old wire wheel. I've used that on so many things. I've been through so many of these. I mean, go back and watch some of the engine episodes. I go over the entire block, all the intake, everything you can think of with this little boy. So what we're going to use it for today is, on that, I don't know if you can see how bad that is. How tatty. I'm going to do that on it. We'll get that up looking good, and then I'm going to spray it in Hammerite. I'd rather do it black, but I've got grey or silver. It's hidden, so it doesn't matter. It's all internal. No one will see it, but let's just get it rust-proofed. Right, while that's drying, the other thing I've done is I bought a reel of this stuff. So this is sort of rubber, sticky back foam, and I've stuck it around the outside of the motor. Fantastic focusing effort. Right, around the outside of the motor. That will hold it tight within the casing, so it's not rattling around. And I'm still hoping that these screws line up with the mountings. I think they do. I think we're going to get lucky. But yeah, we're getting there. Looking pretty good, I think. I can't remember if I showed you these two motors sort of side by side, but original, and this is the one out of the Passat. Now if I line up the bottoms, look at the spindle tops. I don't know if you can tell from there, but it's pretty much spot on. I think that's going to be a pretty good fit. And sort of radius or diameter of the motor is near identical. Now what I've done is put on this sort of rubber stuff, or sticky back foam, and that's to make it a tighter fit in the hole, now sprayed silver, and stop it rattling around in there. I don't know what the original one did for that. I couldn't see, I can't remember actually. When I took it apart, I'm not sure that it had anything in there, but all I'm doing is put it in the hole now. Yeah, I can't remember what it had in there. I don't think it had anything. So it probably just relied on the screws at the back holding it in. Again, I think what I'm going to do is modify the case so that the wires don't come out here, but they come out here. Now that would be much simpler. I'll have to check the other side, but I can always pull them around then. but it means I can use this groove. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a nice groove that the wires can sit within. So I'm just going to go smash that through now. Right, happy how far the motor's gone in now. What I want to do is just test fit again, make sure I'm not going crazy and that this does all fit together correctly. And just take me a second to work out what way around this goes. Here I think it goes like that. So that's the motor in, and then the top housing obviously goes on like that. Okay, so it would fit together. I've got the hamster cage that I've given a little bit of a wash up, looking a little bit neater, and that would just slide on there. Now I'm trying to take it sort of very carefully. It's probably as low as I'm going to want to go. Definitely as low as I'm going to want to go. It's already grinding. Because my motor's not quite straight. So how do we fix that? I don't really want to just push on the spindle because it will stress the spindle. But what I can do, actually we can lose the casing now, can't we? What I can do is tap on the casing of the motor just to sort of push it out a little bit. We are operational, me and my Passat van. That's looking pretty good. Blowing out nice cold air. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I thought it'd spin a bit quicker, but I'm not to judge. The battery might not be the best. I think that's, okay, connector fell off. Yeah, the battery might not be the best, but it spins. It's boiling hot in here, so it's actually quite welcome. Okay, I'm going to just check if it's fouling at all anywhere, which is slowing it down, just see if that's any problem. And then if not, put it all back together. It's taking a little while to get together. I still need to put one of these clips on that dropped on the floor somewhere. Find that in a little while, but check that out. That is pretty powerful. I'm sure you appreciate my toilet paper stuck on the end there. It's blowing like crazy. Obviously that would be on maximum in the car. Relatively quiet, super powerful. I don't know about the current draw on it. I'll look it up actually and see what that motor does. But really pleased how that fits in there. Right, according to the chart, fuse 17 is the HVAC blower. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's the blank one. It needs a 25 amp fuse. So let's squeeze that boy in there. Let's turn it so I can, oh, and that's that one gone. No, there it is. Always dropping them. Right. Okay, so it's facing us so we can see it. I'm going to go plug it in and let's see what it does. Right, so ignition on. You can enjoy my central console, which is, I can see it from here. It's been sprayed up, ready to go back in, but I need all the dash to come out, so that's why it's a bit of a mess here. Fuse is in. This is turned to off. Listen. Nothing. 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 That's on full. So nothing at all. That was fairly undramatic, wasn't it? Alright, so I think what I need to do next then is to trace that, just check the voltage is actually coming through. So I'll get the multimeter on it and just try and work back, check. I mean, I just plugged it into a connector in the bonnet. I assume it's the right one because it's right next to where it is, but who knows? Maybe I got the wrong one. Right, with the fuse in place, and you can just see me jumping the relay. I've got my laptop with my circuit flow diagram, so I'll make sure I'm doing the right thing. I have now, I can just slide you out there. You should be able to see the fan running and a bit of tissue sort of blowing in the wind. That's really good. And the thingammy, the adjuster actually works. Oops. Here we go then, that's my finished blower thing. I'm quite pleased with that. Seems to work really well. Just to finish off, I did I put the correct wiring thing on there, a couple of new bolts to hold it together, clips around the outside, and it runs really well. So I've plugged it in and just sort of tested, put the fuse in as you saw, tested it on 1, 2, 3, 4, all works correctly apart from after about 15 seconds it goes on to max, which is, I believe it's because the resistor pack's getting too hot. And this isn't blowing air across it to cool it down, so it sort of goes into meltdown maximum drive. So I'm going to try and fit that. I don't know the easiest way, whether I take the bonnet off and go in the top or try and come up underneath, but let's have a look at that now. I think the easiest way to fit this blower motor is to take the hood off. I was reading something online that you can actually put it from the inside, but I really can't get my, whatever it is, sort of the plastic panel out. So I'm going to whip the bonnet off. And you're going to watch, because I might drop it. Now with the bonnet off, it's going to be much easier to get the blower in there. It also gives me an excuse to sort of just have a look along here, make sure everything's okay. I'm trying to remember where the fuse pack is. I mean, that's obviously the thing staring at me, but for some reason I seem to remember it being bigger than that. I'll have a look and just sort of double check. Yeah, but it's not bad, not too bad in there. This was full of leaves when I got the car, and I've cleaned it all out. To work out what that boy's for as well. But we are getting there. There we go. Right. Now hopefully my rubber thing here is pretty good. Little tiny, well that's actually correct, isn't it? It's not supposed to be that, it's supposed to be split. Sorry, the camera got droopy on me. What I'm doing is taking the hinge out, just make it a little bit, probably gain about 2 centimeters. So I'm hoping the blower motor will just drop in there. Let's see if that will fit in now. Can't do much more. Come on. I mean, seriously. There we are, right. We're going in. Are we? Are we going in or not? We're in. Again, like, literally all I want to do is just attach it up and check that it doesn't keep tripping the. Yeah, that seems quite happy, so that's off, which I think even on off, I think it just trickles along. That's number 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a lot of air coming through here. Pretty good. I still am jumpering the relay because I don't know why that's not getting signal yet, but I'll do that next. Okay, we have action. Hopefully you can hear that. That's up to full, all the way back down, and then if I slide this across the defrost, we have action as well. I don't know if I can slide it off defrost now. Anyway, so the problem was this connector here. I hadn't connected that up, which stopped it getting any power, and therefore I couldn't control the relay over here. This is the blower relay, this is the defrost relay. So those two need to get power from the head unit over here. So that's really cool. So what I'm going to do now then is mount the blower motor, which is in there, mount that properly because that's sort of placed in at the moment. And then we can wrap this job up. You would not believe the sheer amount of grass and leaves and stuff I've sort of hoovered out from inside there. Look at that. That is pretty impressive. Give you a bit of perspective on that. It's crazy the amount of stuff that sort of gets stuck in under this wing here. There's a little bit of rust under there, so I'm just going to put some rust killer to sort of kill it, but generally it's not looking too bad in there. I've drilled out the hole here now. This bolt was stuck in, so I should be ready to mount the blower. Right, it should just be a matter of putting the bonnet back on. I say just because I remember putting it on the last time and it was a nightmare to line up. Which, if you remember, I sprayed some zinc primer, as it turns out, but some grey spray to show me where the hinges go. I'm hoping that's going to make it easier. But, bonnet time. So let me go get it and we'll put it on. Right, I think that wraps it all up. Motor installed, well, the whole unit reconditioned, rust proofed all around there, all the rabbit droppings or whatever gets inside the bonnet hoovered out. The electrical gremlin resolved, which wasn't a gremlin, it was I haven't plugged in the head unit, fuse replaced, all works. Really pleased with that. What I've not tested is the diverters, you know, the vacuum assisted sort of flaps that open and shut, but I'll do those another time. That's all I can do this week, and that's pretty good. I'll give you details about the motor I use. It came from I think it was a 1991 VW Passat. Works perfectly. I mean, literally slides straight in. No adjustments at all. I stuck that sort of sticky back foam around it to make sure it didn't rattle around. And I never put screws in the back end of it because it was such a tight fit. Do be careful when you're pushing it in though, because you can upset the spindle and it'll go slightly out of balance and not want to turn. You can sort of tweak it, that's what I did, and then you have to sort of tweak it back. It is recoverable. Anyway, enough rambling. I hope this was useful today. As ever, click the like button, click subscribe, leave me some comments. I'll see you next time.